Finally, we have to deal with fractions going to percentages and percentages to fractions. Now, unfortunately, there is no quick conversion like there was for decimals to percentages, but both fractions and percentages will play nice with decimals as a middle ground. So that's what we're going to do. What I mean by that is we're going to start by saying, okay, 9 and 3/10. 3/10 is really the decimal point 3. So 9 and 3/10 is 9.3. I'm going to convert the fraction into its decimal form. And now I'm going to convert the decimal into a percentage. To do that, we grab the decimal point and bring it right 2 places. That creates a gap that gets filled in with a 0. This is 930%. Now, did I necessarily need to do the 3 divided by 10? Yeah, no. Only because the denominator was 10. Let me show you. In number 60, 7/10, if we know the value of our places, is 0.7. 7/10. So we can immediately convert something that has a denominator of 10 or 100 or 1,000 into decimals. It's the not nice denominators, like 4 and 25 below, that we're going to have to work with. All we have to do now is convert. So 2 places to the right, fill in the gap. What is 7/10? It is 70%. 1/4. So 1 divided by 4. 4 will go into 10 twice with a remainder of 2. We have to add an extra 0 and drop it. I knew I would need it, that's why I already wrote it. 4 goes into 25 times with no remainder. So 1/4 is 0.25. That's the decimal midpoint. To get to our percentage, we now move that decimal point right 2 places, and 0.25 is 25%. Finally, for this section, we have 1 and 14/25, which means we're going to have to do 14 divided by 25, which looks really, really unpleasant. It won't be that bad. 25 does not go into 140 cleanly, but it does go in 5 times. That's 125, which when you subtract gets you 15. We add a 0. 25 does go into 150 perfectly 6 times. So 1 and 14/25 is 1.56. That's the decimal. To get to the percentage, we just move that decimal point right 2 places. 156%. The other way around, starting with a percentage and going to a fraction. Step 1, look at that percentage and say, okay, your decimal point is invisible right there. So to make you a decimal, I'm going to bring you back. And as a decimal, you're 0.49. Now, decimal to fraction. That is 49 over 100, 49 hundredths. And I can't do anything. 49 will only simplify by 7, and 7 does not go into 100. For number 64, again, step 1, say, all right, I need to make this percentage into a decimal. So drag that decimal point back 2 places and fill in our gap. We get 0.005. What is that? That is 5 1,000ths. Third decimal place is thousandths. Now this, we can simplify. 5 will divide by 5, and 1,000 can divide by 5. The fraction form is 1/200th. 75%. Decimal point is invisible on the end. Drag it back 2 places so that we know as a decimal it's 0.75. That's 2 decimal positions, so that's 75 hundredths. That fraction will simplify, giving us a final fraction of 3/4. And finally, 450% has its invisible decimal point. We move it left 2 times so that we're looking at the number 4.5. That, as a fraction, is 4 and 5/10. The fraction part of this mixed number simplifies. They both divide not by 2 like I just wrote for some strange reason, but by 5. And we get a final mixed number of 4 and 1/2.